orchestra of the organ. The organ has 4 families of tone. The original family was called the principal family. It's this one. Amen. The church sound. And this was the traditional sound for centuries that was used to accompany singing. Then, during the Romantic period, actually the Baroque period, but during the course of history, they discovered that the organ could imitate things in the orchestra. And so that's when things happened like this, like a clarinet. Or we have, on this organ, we have 2 different trumpets. And then we have, Chap, I'm going to have you pan around to the brass ones. Okay, you need to hang on to your seat for these. So those are more like state trumpets, and this is more like a chorus trumpet. Then we have a beautiful opal on this organ too. We have quite a few flutes. On this keyboard we have this flute. We have a different flute on this keyboard. Oops, forgot to take the trumpet away. But you notice how they're entirely different. We have another one down here. Completely different. Now, we also have violins. But if we want to have the sound of a bunch of violins, we have a thing called a Celeste. It's a second set of violin pipes that are tuned slightly out of tune with the first one, which gives us the shimmering sound of a string. We also have a beautiful bassoon on here. Mostly we use that in the pedal in the ensemble playing. Now, we build all these things. Oh, one thing that's kind of nice, we have a beautiful Baroque instrument called a shamai, and we have an English horn too. So there are a lot of beautiful solo stops, but they could also be used in the chorus. So what happens, and then the pedal, let me explain to you about the pedal. Let me show you something. I'm going to have you pan down to this. All of these come all the way down into the pedal, like for example, this one comes down into the pedal as well. See, it's down, same note, but it keeps going down. Now, I have a really big version of that, which is this. This is a bombard, like a big tuba. Now, if we have if we ever have the need for thunder, it goes down farther. Now, when we bring that in at the end of a hymn, that's the thing that you feel it when you're singing in church, and all of a sudden the choir is standing, they're singing, and the singing gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the organ gets bigger, and everybody's just singing their heart out, and you feel it in the building. That's what's happening, is I've pulled on those stops. They shake the room. They actually create sound waves that are 64 feet in length. So with that being said, let me tell you one thing more. Now, how do we make this work during the service? That would bring me to the next thing. You see all these buttons here are called pistons. Let me show you what they do. Watch these buttons watch everything. Do you see how everything's moving around? What this allows me to do is program the service. So I might have a piece of music, for example. Pull something out of here. Not only the organ literature, but basically this is my Sunday book. And everything that happens on Sunday, from the introit to the postlude, is in this book and in order. And so basically everything is there, and everything is in order. For example, we might start with this one. It would be marked, and so I start with number 3, and then on page 4, I go to piston number 4, and at the bottom of 4, it builds. I go to 5. It gets bigger, 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 and I'm pushing these pedals up so it's louder and louder, but it just goes suddenly so quiet. Piston 6 is very quiet. And then it comes down to a very, very soft ending. So those are, because it's impossible to do this. You just can't do it fast enough. And that's what that's for, and it allows you to do that. So there's a lot that goes on during the service that you don't know about. And our job is to make it so seamless and so magical that you don't even know it's happening, but you're worshiping, and you just know that suddenly you feel differently. And you know that suddenly, your heart's been touched. That's what the music is about.